The man never expected it. After waking up, a dark-skinned girl was right next to him, demanding to know if he was friend or foe, since he was the lord of this grassland, and she likely lived here as a resident. He decided to treat her as an ally, but right after he said that, the horn on her head shone brightly. Before he could even process it, she grabbed his wrist and dragged him to a village, where he met the chief. He explained that the king had given him this land, but the chief told him they were actually enemies of the kingdom. 50 years ago they fought a war over this grassland. After losing they had to flee. The reason they were back was because their horn stored magic and could cast various spells, like this village for example, which was hidden using concealment magic. He finally understood. No wonder he saw no one. When he first arrived, the chief trusted him because of a spell called soul appraisal. If someone was dangerous or hostile, their horn would turn red. If harmless, it would turn white, and blue meant blessing and fortune. Though they would not become his subjects, the chief would support him as a lord, and give him housing, food and livestock. In exchange, he had to keep the village a secret, and Aruna would teach him how to survive on the grassland. Soon they prepared a home for him. Aruna explained, this type of house was called a yurt. It could be taken down quickly in an emergency, and carried away. Besides that, they also gave him some livestock. If he raised and bred them, he could have a steady income, but his way of thinking was different. With the resources he currently had, even bringing in more people would just starve them. So Aruna gave him a bag of powder, saying if he scattered it on the grassland, beasts would come for the scent. If he got enough hides and meat, he could trade for more yurts. He was already great at hunting. Soon he reached an open area. Not knowing how much powder to use, he just dumped it all out. Not long after, a herd of black yaks came charging. His fighting style was brutally simple. No complex moves or flashy tricks, just swinging his axe on instinct, using raw power to take them down. The results were impressive, but a new problem came up. He had not thought about how to carry them back, so he only hauled one yak back. He expected her to be disappointed, but she looked thrilled instead, praising him for being so manly. When she heard there were 30 or 40 more, her eyes completely changed. She immediately called for help, and even her address changed from that guy to his real name. The chief was also impressed, and even joked if he wanted to marry the hardworking Aruna, the bride price would need to be generous. The next morning he woke up and found breakfast already prepared. Not only that, when he casually complimented her cooking, her expression turned meaningful. Even he was caught off guard. Remembering his plan to expand his land, she suggested hunting monsters to make more money and hire people to build up his territory. She also happened to know a spell to track monsters. While she went to get ready, he brushed the sheep's wool. Soon after, some villagers came with carts, carrying supplies he traded for the yaks. As for the new yurt, it would take a few more days to arrive. Then Aruna came out fully made up. She looked completely different today. Not just him, even the other villagers were stunned. After reaching a monster-frequented area, she clasped her hands together and chanted the tracking spell. As her horn glowed, the target was soon located. But when she saw what it was, she froze, because in front of them was an earth dragon that should not be here. He stayed completely calm. To him, it was just a big turtle, and he charged in with his axe. But the moment it hit the shell, he realized how tough it was. Since the shell would not break, he aimed for the head and limbs, but the dragon seemed to read him and pulled back into its shell. He would not give up. If one hit would not do it, he would keep swinging until it cracked. That was his way. The axe in his hand was also special, a weapon he got from defeating a general.